Hey everyone, this podcast is coming to you from the Psychic Dolphin Garage. You can support this show and our larger efforts to build a leftist community through podcasting over at patreon.com/Psychic Dolphin Garage. That's patreon.com/PSYCHICDOLPHIN Garage, which is spelled like it sounds.
Like, go work for Netflix if that's really what you believe in.
Oh my God. A 3.5 hour long Star Wars film? Do not subject me to that, you bastard.
If we're making a 3.5 hour long Star Wars film, it has to be set during the prequels, and it's just parliamentary procedure. Like, this is the Galactic Senate functioning on a normal day.
Yeah.
House of Cards, but the Galactic Senate still starring Kevin Spacey.
Chancellor Palpatine motion for division. The motion is received. We will now
oh my God, Jar Jar is the main character. Jesus.
No.
Fucking hate Jar Jar, racist son of a bitch.
He's to propose a motion to table the question.
How many people do you think got away with being just blatantly racist than just claiming that they were doing Jar Jar impressions?
Jar Jar or
non-zero amount.
I feel like a good 20% of the Star Wars characters are just racist caricatures.
That is a low estimate there, sir. There are literally people. The Tusken Raiders are called sand people. Let's think about this.
Such an anti-Semitic character, fucking trope. Jesus Christ.
Otto, he's got a big hook nose. He's a greedy junk dealer.
Your tricks do not work on me.
You focus on my money.
The fucking Trade Federation, just like, I don't know why we chose these accents, but go off, King, I guess.
When we inevitably move into Star Wars 10, 11, and 12, just etch the names off of like a turn-of-the-century vaudeville production.
Right? Absolutely. The Star Wars coming to a theater near you.
Starring Yellow Belly Johnson. What? Oh God.
How could you not like it?
Those funny, do I really have to say this word?
General Grievous with a hard R.
I feel like I feel like some of the characters in Star Wars are they're. It's just so prophetic that they're racial caricatures of races that we haven't even conceived of.
It's that forward thinking.
Oh God.
George Lucas was really a visionary. He knew the future of racism, and he tried to steer us there. He wanted
to be on the racism zeitgeist.
Jesus. Oh my God, he was racist against a form of Brazilian that hadn't been created yet and wouldn't be until 2040. Truly a visionary.
He was racist against moon people.
Fucking Orbeez, I can't stand them.
God.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Grandpa.
Jesus. Don't say the O slur. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, why can't we have movies that are made with, classic ableism, like calling fat people fat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
or dumb people dumb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to the golden days of discrimination.
Discrimination, realism.
I'm probably a dipshit. Okay.
Those golden ages are a little bit
pride.
They're a little bit better than what we have now. I mean, back in the day, you would have these goofy caricatures. Now you have Disney, which is like extremely diverse, but because of the diversity, no character is allowed to have any caricature trait of any kind whatsoever. There's a black guy and he's nice, I guess. I think there's a Latino guy.
He's
nice,
one of the good ones. Is that what you're saying?
There's
a Latino guy who's
two
nice, I guess. I think.
traits.
Okay, well, like, how would you have reacted if Poe Dameron rolled up in like a lowrider X-wing? Like, there would be questions.
What are you talking about? Man, well, I mean, if he had like sideways with the blaster.
If Rian Johnson had been allowed to make the ninth Star Wars film, it would have gone to the gangster rap planet.
That would have been great.
Just John Boyega looking over and be like, more like, yo, Dameron.
and then the film ends right there.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
And welcome to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. This week we have Not Safe for Wonks joining us in the garage to help us kick off 2020. How's it going, y'all? Introduce yourselves. Let us know what's going on.
This is Brandon Buchanan. Leia, shh, you zip it. This is my role, by the way. This is our dynamic. We furiously shush her whenever she tries to say anything. It was my birthday, and this Iran thing popped off, and I had a great birthday night, just drinking with the gang. Just hanging out.
Brandon is on active watch right now, just looking at it the same way that, like crypto guys are looking at Bitcoin crashing out. He's just like, oh my God, the airplanes, they're moving across the ocean. Oh, Jesus Christ. We shouldn't have any C-17s in Germany. What's about to go down? Oh my God.
It's two cast members' birthdays tomorrow. Kennedy, who's not here, and Dre. We're prepping for some fucking shit to hit the fan. Like, if that was Brandon's birthday, we can't even begin to predict.
War in the South China Sea.
Yeah, so we've replaced Bo with Kelton this week.
As per the restraining order, we're not allowed to be within 500 podcast yards of each other. So we're making it the best that we can.
Well, what's a podcast yard? Excuse me, I never heard of that.
Well, you see, it's using the metric system, and I don't understand it either, but I'm trying to pretend that way then when the inevitable Grand British takeover happens, I'll have some clout with them, and that's what matters most.
What's the school you go to?
It's actually the podcast test that you take before you can make it big, and we've been studying very hard.
Oh my God, it's like Gattaca, but with podcasting, and just like not a funny enough riff. I'm not sure that we can do this.
Secret. That's the difference between you and me. I didn't save anything for the Patreon
episode. Well, if y'all want to make sure that we feel encouraged to do more jokes like that, we are on a quest for 100 iTunes reviews. So go ahead and leave it. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, whatever. I mean, scrawl it in blood in the walls of a cave when the post-apocalypse happens. Just a 5-star review and we'll read it out loud.
That's right. For 2020's reviews.
New review, new me. But enough business up top. It's time to party in the back, I guess. What are y'all's tweets of the week? What has delighted you going on?
Is absolutely from the share zone. It's a little skeleton. It's got a little neon fucking shades on. If you're in the Army, Navy, National Guard, Coast Guard, Marines, Air Force, Space Force, just leave. Surf on out of there. They don't make you bomb weddings in prison.
They don't make you bomb weddings in prison that's just beautiful. Put that as my new Twitter bio.
I liked the share zone better before they became an SJW blog. I've actually seen complaints like that. And I'm like, where have you been?
I really hate to burst your poor sweet bubble, you sweet summer child, but you're not gonna like the knowledge I'm about to drop on you.
Are you in the right place to receive information that could possibly hurt you?
No, we're not doing that anymore.
2020 is the year of the headspace. Sorry, Leah.
My favorite is one that actually I just found from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. It's responding to a Donald J. Trump tweet. Talking about how his media posts will serve as notification to the United States Congress that should Iran strike any U.S. person or target, the United States will quickly and fully strike back, and perhaps in a disproportionate manner. And they responded, this media post will serve as a reminder that war powers reside in the Congress under the United States Constitution, and that you should read the War Powers Act, and that you're not a dictator. So, I'm entertained by the beef. I believe that's the correct term.
That is the most wonky beef I have ever heard. That's like two accountants getting into a rap battle right now.
Or you will file the paperwork at the proper location.
Like I've said this before. I've said this before on Twitter, but like if you oppose a war in Iran because like Trump hasn't filed the correct paperwork or talked to the registrar of war making, like. No, you're going to be talked into being pro-war in like 6 months.
You're going to get topped into being pro-war?
Hell yeah.
And dominate you. That's right.
You support U.S. imperialism.
Well,
Dan Crenshaw just comes and puts it in you.
Dan Crenshaw?
You think he only has one testicle, too, to match?
He's only got one.
Fuck up.
You
got one testy.
Yeah, they take
You can
away the
also
other
wait a
one
while,
when you
but-
lose your
But
eye.
like, yeah, if you're in this game because like you didn't file the correct war paperwork, you're going to be for the war in 6 months. You oppose the war on moral grounds, or you're just you're going to get bought and sold. And in 6 months, you're going to be cheering on our brave and diligent soldiers as they die trying to paratroop into Tehran.
I mean, look, to be fair, they did do the paperwork. You know what? You know what has really grabbed me? Donald Trump, premiering the nuclear holocaust on Twitter. What really grabs me is this entire administration was all for the clout, man. It was all to get his follower numbers up. So, respect the grift. Of course,
Yeah, I guess
everything's going to work with you on his Twitter.
I mean, it's breaking news more or less at the time of us recording, but for people unaware, because I'm sure it'll be old news by the time that y'all actually are listening to this, Trump assassinated top general Soleimani, I would say yesterday at some point in the late night or afternoon hours. And a fun fact about that is that officials presented the president with options, and the Pentagon tacked on the choice of targeting Soleimani mainly to make the other options seem more reasonable. It's like when you're giving stuff like to your boss and you're like, here's 3 reasonable options and 1 ridiculous batshit one. And as it would turn out, they didn't think he would take it, but when Trump actually chose the option, military officials that were flabbergasted, were alarmed, needless to say. So we did something as a stunt, more or less. This is what you get for trying to impress your boss.
It was literally just a prank, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we live in the dumbest possible timeline because every decision that we make is the stupidest possible decision.
Yeah, I mean, the fallout from this is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Because, I mean...
And it's all because, like, you're like, oh, I'm going to make my stupid option seem more reasonable by including a obviously dumb option that we can't pursue. So it's like when movie theaters charge, like, $15 for the medium popcorn and $17 for the large popcorn. Because it makes, like, it's only $2 more for the large popcorn. I guess I got that.
As a person who does spend those extra $2, I feel personally attacked right now. I need some consolation from that. It's called stress eating. It's important. And I don't know how much more overpriced movie popcorn I can have left because the end times are nigh.
We're all complicit in the popcorn economy. There's no ethical popcorn consumption.
Well, I mean, like there are a lot of reasons that we could possibly have to go to war with Iran. Like Iran dropped the petrodollar as the 4th largest oil reserves. And fun fact, they recently discovered a new oil field containing 53 billion barrels of crude oil. So roughly 30% more than previously estimated. And now that war in Venezuela no longer seems feasible, the U.S. is trying to appease Israel, maybe a little bit, and Saudi Arabia, maybe just a little bit, and solidify Trump's re-election bid. So, what's that phrase? Genociding 4 birds with 1 stone, I think.
Yeah, more or less.
One, yeah.
Well, and and not to get too much into international political cross-examination, but
We're the number 1 podcast for international political cross-examination.
Yeah.
So go.
Not today for Wonks. Not us. Don't come to us for that bullshit. What the fuck?
Yeah,
we're talking about shit. We're talking about cum. You want to talk to like some actual congressional hopefuls? Go into that podcast. Listen to them. They put in the motherfucking work. Us, we are too busy, like forming a satanic funeral pyre right now because we think that's going to ward things off at the moment.
Again, you guys might be my exit strategy if things ever get too wonky.
There you
Just talking
go.
about, Leia, you would enjoy a podcast just talking about shit and cum, honestly. I know you.
Yeah, you two know me.
Not to spoil,
Get in the furry suit, Benji. Get in the furry
Like once I have the clout and once all of my income revenues are stabilized and the grift ranch is paid for and everything, then I could just retire to the podcast equivalent of a retirement home. We just talked about
Now, sir.
every
Thanks
episode.
to the
long-term
compliment. Wow, low-key diss there.
I might be just a simple cum farmer, but I must tell you, sir, I am abhorred by the idea of the politics coming from the mainstream radicals over in Washington, D.C.
A simple we farm these takes with the sweat of our brow and the toil of our hands. And we shall not be insulted, sir. We shall not be insulted.
All of us just like sitting there looking at her like, we don't know when she picked up the accent, but
and honestly, I think it might be kind of problematic if we're all being honest with ourselves.
Creating Southern culture. I feel like Southerners are up there with the Italians.
Oh, yeah.
Much as possible.
Hey, we didn't try and fight for decades to keep Italians out of the South just for them to come in and steal Southern valor, okay?
No, I was there personally back in the 1910s lynching Italian immigrants in New Orleans.
Thank you for your service, sir. I didn't realize we had a veteran.
Yeah. No.
Gonna get a veteran of the war on Italians.
Yeah. The Fazoli Wars. Oh, no.
As the veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan would say, though.
Fucking beautiful.
Beautiful.
Needless to say, though, Google searches for the draft age did spike. And in fact, the Selective Service website crashed after Trump did the airstrike against Soleimani. So,
yeah, and as the veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan would also say, like, we not only do we not belong there because we're intentionally trying to meddle to generate more profit for, all the American industries that rely on our war machine, but also we've been trying to do something like this for a long ass time. We tried in the Strait of Suez,
Hormuz.
Yeah. We tried being all like strict about the nuclear agreement, and they met all.
Oh yeah, strict. That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, we tried to change it rapidly underneath of them to see if they would fail or if they would, maybe pass, the inspection stuff, and they still made it, and so we were kind of upset about that.
Well, I mean, everyone got so upset. And then, people are worried about like the idea of getting drafted. And I think that we need to look on the bright side because, there now means that think of the opportunities that are being made right now. Think of all the opportunities that you have to go fuck a troop's 20-year-old wife that he met 3 months ago and proposed on the second date.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're good enough, you can snake off with his Camaro that he got at 17.
True.
No. He doesn't get the Camaro until his leg blows off from an IED. Okay,
Right.
Come on now. Oh God, can you imagine an IED gets blown up? Horrifying. All the cinematography of like the Hurt Locker. Then you find out it's a Cricket Wireless ad.
Toyota on now.
Jesus.
I feel bad for the original settlers of this country who never got to see Toyota-thon.
Yeah, I mean, truly, if anyone is the victim, it is the original settlers, quote unquote, of this country.
Yeah, no.
The people of this land fled from religious persecution, and under the regimes of the English and French, they weren't allowed to practice Toyota. they weren't allowed to sell affordable price Toyotas for.
But now that Trump is here, we can finally say happy Honda days once and for all.
Truly made America great again.
Obama
honestly.
wanted Honda out of the White House, but we're bringing it back in. We're driving a fucking Toyota Elantra through the Oval Office door.
My parents.
You can already picture like Pete Buttigieg then just writing in and being like, I am announcing a rebrand with my all new Sonata from Hyundai.
Hyundai. See, it's progressive.
We're gonna move to a Nissan Leaf.
My parents have always drove Mazdas, specifically only in cherry red. So I felt like I've always been like culturally outside of the grand fervor for Toyota-thon.
While also somehow living in the commercial, like you were the Zoom Zoom kid, right?
Oh, the Zoom Zoom kid. Yeah, I think that was a past life.
See, I'm betraying a little bit of my upper middle class background, but fucking my parents always drove Porsches.
Ooh.
What is this?
I see. Yeah,
This is
upper middle
new.
class. Yeah.
Well, no, you
Porsches.
want upper.
My
you want
dad
upper,
works
you want
in
upper
Microsoft,
class.
upper
Talk to
middle
Rachel.
class.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Rachel. Rachel
Okay.
is my cop out here.
Calm down, Lil Nas X. All right, you got the Porsches in the back. I understand.
I did. And now my roommate, and now I can't drive, and my roommate has a 2005 Toyota Camry.
Honestly, king shit.
And I prefer the Camry because Porsches, you're spending so much fucking money, and for what? It doesn't even look good.
Brand recognition.
Half the value
Flag.
as soon as it gets off the lot. Just like a podcast episode.
Get me a mid '90s Japanese sedan. That's what's happening.
Red Velvet Outcast. Yeah.
Is there a left-wing car manufacturer? What's the people's ride?
Train.
Oh, there we go. Boom.
Whoever the manufacturer of public transit is, who's the biggest Jesus, I keep
No. It needs to be the state. We can't trust the private sector on this, Zach. Yeah, I can't wait for the Tesla, Lyft, Uber conglomerate to give me my public transit options.
It's obviously the Tiburon. The Tiburon is the car of the future.
Well, I mean, enough talk about Tiburon and more talk about the Tiburon. And Ron, whatever the fuck. You guys know what I'm talking about.
The three largest suppliers of buses to the American transit market are New Flyer of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Gillig of Hayward, Canada, and North American Bus Industries of Alabama.
Hell yeah.
Alabama is one of the three largest bus suppliers of buses to the American transit market.
Okay,
what
listen,
the fuck,
you really
Alabama?
don't want to get into the whole history of Alabama and buses. It's not going to end well. Zach.
Okay, yeah. But back to Iran, I guess we can talk about buses on a different episode because those aren't hot. Yeah. Those aren't a hot commodity, especially not here in the South.
Are you saying we're going to push it to the back? Anyway,
Buses are like public transport. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Listen. So we all knew that it was going to happen. It's amazing that it was literally. The tacked on choice of, or we could just kill him, that Trump was like, yes, that's the one. That's the one that we're going to do.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to figure out if you're talking about buses or about, the assassination of Iran's top general. So my apologies there.
Yeah, really get those two confused.
Iran has threatened revenge, though. In fact, quote unquote, Iranian hackers put an image on the U.S. Federal Depository website. Basically saying that they're going to punch Trump. And then apparently Iran, quote unquote, again, has offered $80 million to anyone who will kill Donald Trump.
This further feeds into my conspiracy theory that book depositories are like a government scam. Because when's the last time you heard anyone talk about a book depository?
I know, it's the most CIA shit in the world. Like, these aren't Iranian hackers putting the image on here. It's the CIA. Iran isn't offering $80 million.
Book depositories is the CIA. It's like their calling card.
So are you saying...
This is why we are a not reading podcast, okay? Books are dangerous.
Yes,
But, I mean, I guess my question is, we all can use probably $80 million, but what grifter is finally going to take up their opportunity, their chance? I mean, I don't want to, be the edgelord who quotes Eminem, but if you had one moment and one opportunity, would you take it?
Like, what are we talking here? What are we talking as proof? Do we need a picture? Do we need his head? Is this a new Vegas 3-card bounty type thing where we need where we need their finger?
Yeah. You mail his pinky finger in, and that's
it's how like a Big Lebowski situation. We need the toe.
All right, this is what we do. We don't tell them, but we tell Don Jr. and Eric that we will give them $6 million if they will kill their dad.
Right.
Okay.
No. And we also we sweeten the pot by saying there's like a law passed in 1805 that says if you kill the president and are also related to the president, you become president. They'll probably buy that.
Yeah, it means that you get to fuck Melania. That's what it means. Come on, Don. You know this.
No, that's risque.
Because there's elections that are secretly held for the first lady.
That's right.
The secret elections for the first lady.
But I mean, like, I don't understand why people are upset
That's
at
what
Iran
happens
for
in women's bathrooms.
real shit. Get real conspiracy hours.
We finally have an inside job here.
Do it.
Yeah, I don't get, though, why people are upset at Iran for, doing everything within their power to, be halfway decent about all of this. Because, if the United States' top general got exploded from a country that, was dicking us over up at our nuclear capabilities, we probably wouldn't have as measured a take as we have anyway. Because, Iran, we're freaking out about them backing out of the 2015 nuclear deal that, we added further sanctions on and completely adjusted the terms to. And then we're also now freaking out about how the Iraqi parliament has approved a bill to expel American soldiers from the country permanently, as if we're just acting kind of like, well, how come you don't want us around? It's like that friend who went out to the bar with you, but now it's 4 a.m. and they're still wanting to talk because, they're all like hopped up on Adderall, just pacing around.
It's fucking insane because this democracy was built by the Americans after we ousted Saddam. And it's supposed to be a manifestation of popular will or whatever. And now Bolton is saying that, well, the Iraqi government might not want us there. The Iraqi people want us there.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
it seems like you fucked up on your state.
The Saudis are really getting good at waging their wars through us. They've really gotten the stranglehold on all of the policymakers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I really love this. The fact that we haven't been challenged in so long that we keep picking smaller and smaller dogs to fight because we're really afraid of picking one that will actually be able to do us some damage. Because can you imagine if there were actually rocket strikes on mainland USA? Like, people would be fucking pissed.
Pissed.
I'd say more than pissed, to be honest.
Yeah,
well, it's
you don't even have to hit a person. Just hit some rocks. Hit a Texaco.
Oh my god! You can pry this Texaco from my cold, dead hands.
God forbid they hit a Kentucky Fried Chicken. We'll have like 100,000.
Shell gas stations are a part of the intangible cultural heritage of America.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, Iran, if you're going to destroy any cultural heritage site in the United States, make sure it's not the Grover House. Please don't destroy that.
We need to keep that. We need to preserve Grover House.
Yeah, please do not hit Mar-a-Lago, our most treasured cultural icon. Don't hit any vacant Trump buildings that just have the Trump name on it.
Guys, listen. Like, Iran isn't the country promising to target 52 cultural sites and bomb the shit out of them. Okay, that's the United States here.
Yeah, but they should do it in retaliation because that'd be funny.
What are some of the most important cultural sites in America that if the enemy were to target it, it would just crumple American will and just end the entire thing? And are we willing to give them up?
The combination of Taco Bell and Pizza Hut on Jamaica Avenue.
The tomb of the undead soldier, is that
unknown?
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I misunderstood why they're
Fear the Walking Dead is pretty good, but you gotta stop watching it before podcasts.
I gotta erect the tomb of the known soldier, and it's just one guy that we know who he is. This is great. And he's the known soldier.
Jesus
Christ.
Honestly,
we've gathered all of our our cultural icons into Washington, D.C. Like, if you just nuked Washington, D.C., there would go the Washington Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial, all of those, big
just do what the British did again.
Oh, yeah, just ransack the White House.
Honestly, we probably could use massive renovation.
I learned from a little historical documentary called Payday 2 that in the Presidential Emergency Operations Center underneath the White House, they keep blank presidential pardons that you can just it's already signed by the president. You just have to add your name to it. So the Iranians can if the Iranians can just reach that vault of pardons, they can just walk out of there free men.
Listen, I don't like it as much as the next guy, but Grover Cleveland has apparently pardoned Soleimani. Okay,
right. The vault was built a long time ago.
They just had time prediction technology. You saw you saw that Nicolas Cage movie, right?
Yeah.
National Treasure. Yeah, they knew.
This is just going to be Reagan with Iran all over again, where there's a lot of smoke but no real fire. At least not for Americans, because the odds are that this is just going to be a massive proxy war. So all these World War III memes and all of that we're seeing, and more specifically, the discourse around those World War III memes has been
we live in the
fascinating.
dumbest possible timeline. So
listen. I just talk about what the discourse is. Okay, I don't create the discourse. I riff on it. You see, that's how I cognitively dissociate from the hell world that is surrounding me.
Scriptivist, I see.
right.
Yeah, I mean, war is never going to touch actual American soil, and it's only going to really affect the people in the Middle East and global South.
Yeah.
And so, that whole idea of we're making memes to cope with our trauma kind of comes at the expense of, lacking empathy for the future victims that are going to happen.
I want to see some Iranians make memes about this, then I'll change my mind.
Yeah.
It's really amazing to me that we don't have the risk of thousands and thousands of proles dying in any of the quote unquote wars that we've been in since post World War II.
Real quick, Zach, I know you're making a legitimate point, but before I forget, new brand. What's the most leftist car manufacturer? Rolls-Royce. There we go. Okay, continue on.
Okay, fuck you. God. Yeah, there's no risk. There's no risk of us losing thousands of proles in open warfare because we have access to technology that lets us literally just murder people endlessly over and over again, and we've constantly abused that. We have evidence of it, and from WikiLeaks, from the the Afghanistan papers that literally just came out.
But no one cares.
No one cares.
Air horns.
We're still manufacturing consent. 2 hours after the strike happened and went public, every newspaper, every journalist organization is like, Soleimani bad, America good, and
he number one bad guy. You trust me.
Yeah,
thumbs up emoji.
MSNBC article.
Yeah, and
comic levels.
Yeah, and we're even like that dichotomy in the actual effects of our own imperialism is also happening in meme culture, which granted we participate in, but it's still like, oh no, we're gonna die in the war. We're not gonna die in the war. How many people died in Iraq? Like 3,000 people, maybe. That's nothing compared to the millions of civilians that died. Like, it's amazing that we still think of warfare as soldiers, boots on the ground, doing risky operations and protecting, freedom that is in the Hummer. They have a big box of freedom that they take with them everywhere.
It's always playing Unfortunate Son everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, the Navy had so many weird 1970s helicopters, but here we are again.
Yeah.
Because we really don't need to be worried as much, at least on our day-to-day level, about us, of course. We need to be worried about, or rather, we don't need to be worried about the memes.
The industrial complex has abstracted war from the American mind to such a point where, unless it's with someone who we share direct land border with, or someone that matches our pull in troops and industry, we can just fucking forget about it, and we just play patriotic country and rock on the radio stations and salute the troops every few days.
Exactly, because we don't need to be worried so much about the memes and the discourse about that. Although that is important to keep in mind, what we really need to be worried about is how the stock market has actually gone up overall since we've committed this assassination. Specifically, companies like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and Northrop have all gone up, which is just fucking fantastic and glorious to hear.
I've been crash hedging myself for like the last year, because I want that economic crash, baby. The circuit breakers trip, and I'm buzzed for a week. And now it's kind of transitioning into a mix of that and Iran war, because the economy is just going to go fucking insane if we actually go to war. And I really hope it causes the new crash, because we are very, very close to that. If the Fed has an interruption in pouring money into the repo market, then the economy is.
It's always got to be the person whose dad drives a Porsche that goes to the podcast talks about, yeah, man, can't wait for mass unemployment. Don't know what you poors are going to do. But
Okay, to be fair,
like we were talking about earlier, I'm making jokes to abstract myself and disassociate myself from the abject horror that will arrive.
Yeah, are you also one of those one of those gravel teens that was associated with that group of kids that were like, hey, so my parents are make a lot of money, so that means I'm going to go to the military academy.
Oh, fucking David Oakes, fuck him.
Yeah, no, it's
David Oakes is trying to get David yoked. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Yeah, millions of people are going to die, but it's good for the economy, which means that it's good for us, right? Because
that means that we have a fully properly functioning economy, right? If something as awful as this actually is good for the economy, definitely something worth saving, right?
If number go up, it's automatically good.
Yeah. We definitely shouldn't attempt to just burn it all down.
Number go up.
Speaking of burning it down,
I see. Keep going, Lincoln Park.
Speaking of burning it down, there is a country currently that is trying to burn it all down, and
not in the cool way, though.
Yeah, not the economy, but actually just the environment, the native wildlife, the indigenous lands. Australia is going to look very different in 2022 or whenever they finally get the fires put out.
2047. This is actually how Mad Max legitimately gets started. Is just the entire country stays on fire all the way through.
Yeah.
That's why gasoline is so important.
Gasoline by I want to say Alter Bridge, but it's not Alter Bridge. My brain says Alter Bridge. Thank you. It's Audio Slave. I know it was and I
call him out on his alternative rock bullshit. Thank you. For the love of God, someone can.
Mark Tremonti just infects my brain. I don't know why.
We don't allow Italian names on this podcast, and you know that, Zach.
Mark T.
Yeah, we had to change your name to Jones for a good reason.
Wow, just blatant racism. Okay.
Yeah,
keep that in my record.
Yeah,
right.
People are talking about though how this fire could change the country forever, and it's like no fucking shit. You think? There's a fire the size of Manhattan that's just burning everything down, and there are mass evacuations, and sporting events are being canceled, and it's just a general shit show. But oh yeah, this could apparently change the country somehow. Gee, I never would have thought of that. Fuck off, mainstream news. Jesus Christ.
We were talking to Lizzie about this on our stream, I think.
Yeah, and they were bringing up a bunch of good points about this, because, it's just insanity. Like, in 2017, the guy who's now the current Australian Prime Minister was in the National Parliament talking about how harmless coal was. So, on, I guess, a good note, positive note, whatever you want to call it, protesters are threatening to break into this guy's home and shit in his pool, which, practice. Come on now. Direct action. Let's do it.
I've just been listening to makeshift punk songs, which I guess is redundant, about how ScoMo's a piece of shit and he deserves to fucking get shit in his pool. Not that specifically, but, any nebulous bad things. And it's been fun so far. It's actually pretty nice.
It's just ridiculous to me, because it seems like although the future of Australia seems pretty bright, with these protesters and Egg Boy and all of that, the current state of Australia with strong winds hampering the ability to control the fire seems like everything's just going to be put through an incinerator before actual progress can happen.
That's, if there is no progress that's ever going to happen, then incinerate it all. Might as well. And the good news is that, cities are made of concrete and are natural fire breaks.
Yeah,
and the only thing that can burn is indigenous lands, so no loss, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not white people who are being the primary ones hurt by this fire, so I guess it's okay in the end if we just continue to let it burn and ignore it. But thankfully, sex workers are on the case to try and save us all, right?
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to nude philanthropist.
She is truly doing the Lord's work. At $10 a nude, she has raised over $200,000. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was somewhere around that amount.
Yeah,
For like
yeah.
$10, a minimum $10 donation, you would get a nude.
And honestly, like that is a whole lot of selfies. That person is putting in the work, needless to say. It's just, portrait mode all day, every day. Use that selfie stick. Because let's crunch some basic math here. $200,000 at $10,000, or I'm sorry, at $10 a photo, 20,000 photos worth is what is currently in the process of being sent out. So if you guys ever bitch about our stickers being backlogged, keep in mind how long these poor horny bastards are backlogged for. It's going to be 2023, and they're still going to be getting daily nudes from this person.
She's going to have like an entire staff of guys that are just circled around her in a semicircle, just all taking pictures from every angle.
Okay, you had me with circle of guys surrounding her in a circle, and then you lost me with the actual business application.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to get off to it at all. You're going to try to see her nude, and there's going to be 4 other guys with cameras in the background.
I mean, did you pay for a nude? If so, if you didn't, then shut the fuck up.
This is like the Pete Buttigieg approach to nude creation. It's very means tested.
honestly, Nude Philanthropist was actually canceled for like a Halloween costume that she wore.
Oh yeah,
it was not blackface.
So even canceled people can do good in this crazy world of ours.
Yes. See, not all canceled people are bad.
Just because you're canceled doesn't mean your life is over.
What was the costume?
It was a Eskimo beauty, and it's just like a faux fur hood and like a white bodysuit.
Okay, so this is what we're asking. You have to either be respectful of the Eskimo people, which I think Eskimo is itself a slur, right? Yeah. And so be respectful of the Inuit people or save koalas. This is where we stand in 2019. Which is more important? Yeah, because I don't think there are that many koalas to save. Is my point.
Yeah,
so are fucking dumb shit animals that are a failure of evolution. So like,
I mean, yeah, but you can only scroll Reddit so long before you see like a charred husk of what used to be a koala. When you're like, geez, well,
that's more effective than like than that "In the Arms of the Angel" song they play to get you to donate to like animal shelters.
I gotta say,
McLaughlin holding husks of koalas.
It's gotta be like the Australian version. So she's like,
it's Crocodile Dundee holding a charred koala
every day. The Wally dies.
That's not a donation. This is a donation.
She's also claimed that she isn't white because she has some like South American family.
Hold on, that was her excuse. Okay, listen. If Elizabeth Warren can still run for president, I think that we have to give Nude Philanthropist a pass on this. Before we just do the hard reset in 2020. No more of this bullshit. We can't allow it. But, what's that say? Let old acquaintance be forgot. Old grievances be forgot. I don't know. This is our first podcast of 2020, and I'm already starting
I think it's that weird Old English word, "ald," where it like means things that words mean.
I'm really back to earlier. If it makes you feel any better, her action is now making more sex workers do stuff like this. So if you want to support an unproblematic version of her, there's probably dozens of her.
So they're all the same. I see. Interesting take there.
Okay.
Maybe people aren't one giant homogenous unit.
There's multiple versions.
We live in a multiverse, okay? There's a multiverse. There's like billions and billions of
find
them.
a version of her that's unproblematic, okay?
Exactly. In the world where Tony Stark is still alive, Nude Philanthropist is totally fine. But she's also known as the closed philanthropist. So, win some, lose some, I guess, is my general point.
All right. Well, I'm glad
Listen, you can either support, a woke, unproblematic person, or you can support the OG, the innovator. I don't believe in frauds. I want to push the art of nudity whoring further and faster for the good of civilization.
Further, faster, longer, uncut. What? Anyway, continue on.
Yes. Wrong genre, but
my mantra in the bedroom is accelerationism. So
that's true. I want to get to the ending point as fast as humanly possible.
Yes,
no matter the damage in its wake. I
well,
understand.
And speaking of accelerationism here in the U.S., the Fort Worth police chief has urged officers to attend their church services in uniform.
Hell yeah. Put cops in churches, put soldiers in Walmart. America, 2K20.
But not in schools, because those cops will just run away. That's
why we're supposed to arm the teachers, Zach, so that way then racist teachers can kill all the minority students. Come on now.
I'd be more afraid of racist teachers being shot with their own guns, because I don't feel like you're like a young, like 35-year-old, like ripped to shreds, like going in there to beat up 16-year-old.
Excuse me, I've seen 1980s/90s classic film The Substitute, and that is exactly how the teachers look in that film.
Jesus.
So, excuse me, sir.
Are they ripped?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Come on. Let me feel your muscles, teacher. Don't make it weird. Yeah, I mean, it is weird to think that, like, as we're creating all of these problems, and I say problems, I legitimately mean just war crimes in Iran, and Australia is burning to the ground. This is kind of what we're doing as the new normal over in Texas, at least, is just let's make everyone feel safe by putting a whole bunch of cops in the house of God. That thing that like has been in place since the Middle Ages, the concept of sanctuary. We're just going to get rid of that, because why should you feel safe there?
Fucking wasp, man. I don't know. I don't know. Protestants are weird as fuck to me. I come from a Catholic family in South Louisiana, so.
Hell yeah, trad gang, rise up.
Where's my trad wife?
Hey, we have.
Paths unite.
Hey, if you guys are looking for some pod wives, some trad pod wives, you should join the Psychic Dolphin Garage Discord.
Yeah, that might be worth it. I mean, like, no promises, but things will be pretty good. That is one of the more awful things, though, about 2019. Or I was about to say 2019. I was going to say these are some of the future. Yeah, the future. Whoop, 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 whoop. 2020 of 2020. Going to just be miserable. But I think it's time for us to wrap things up with a quick game reviewing the worst things on the internet in 2019. All right?
The worst thing on the internet. Eddie Gallagher pardoned Navy SEAL.
I understand. Before people at me, yes, it's my Twitter profile. Okay? Haha, fun joke. Now, the AV Club released a list of their top 10 worst things on the internet. And so I thought, well, why not just put it into a bracket of sorts, and then we can try to determine, in our own opinion, what was the worst thing to happen in 2019 on the internet. So, in our first matchup, we have the number 7 seed versus the 10 seed. Excitement, which was when an egg became the most liked photo ever on Instagram, and it was a performance art piece on the pointlessness of social media that a lot of people kind of lost the point of, versus all of the Cats trailer madness and their goddamn soulless faces.
I'm gonna say that Cats way worse culturally, politically than the world record egg.
We made an entire episode reviewing
Cats was an abomination. Cats has got to go.
All right, so we have
it was a tough seed for eggs, so I got to go with Cats. Cats advances unanimously.
All right, I like that. So then we have in our next matchup the 8 seed versus the 9 seed, the prosperity gospel hype beasts, such as the $1,500 holy water Nikes that would pair very well with your Porsche, that culminated in the Kanye Sunday services, versus the fact that deep fakes keep getting better and more accessible. So the idea of weird revenge porn is just out there in a 3 clicks away kind of fashion.
Revenge porn is just the tip of the iceberg for what deepfakes are going to do. Think about politics. Think about how delusional half the country is when presented with evidence that someone just made up. Soon they're going to be like, well, I saw a CGI video of Bernie blowing up the Death Star, torturing little children. I believe in it.
I think the political fear is overblown because we've had photo editing for at least a century. Yeah, we've had it forever, and we've had photo editing forever, as long as we've had photos, and it hasn't been an existential threat to truth or something.
People believe The Onion is real news.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that deepfakes are going to suddenly be like this new level of, oh my god, I'm fooling people into believing my lie.
Yeah, everybody fucking...
It doesn't need to be believable. It just needs plausible deniability. For like just some housewife in Ohio to just shrug her shoulders and go, well, I saw a video, and that'll be it. I mean, they're always going to vote the way they're going to vote anyway, but it'll just make conversations more frustrating.
Plus, we've had like dev tools accessible for anybody to just edit any page on the internet that they want, so they can make any fake tweet they want.
Hell yeah, why not?
I mean, I just do that to edit the page of C.S. Lewis, so his initials are now C.F. Lewis, which stands for Comfort Lewis, which is a very funny joke.
I see. Of the Connecticut Comfort Lewis, I understand. It's an important distinction. So, which one are we going with, y'all? The Prosperity Gospel Hype Beast versus the
Gospel Hype Beast?
Yeah, Hype Beast as a phenomenon is just fuck.
It's the evolution of getting stoked.
Prosperity Gospel advances unanimously. What's our next seed?
All right, we got the 3 seed versus the 6 seed, which is Amazon Twitter drones versus serial killer stands. So
yeah, that was brutal because it was just like clearly Amazon doing actual real life PR work, but on Twitter,
who could forget? I mean, God, Quillette overall just seems to be based entirely on taking factoids from the Amazon Twitter drones.
Yeah,
this is a tough one, but I feel like I'm going to go with the Amazon.
I'm thinking.
Wait, what was the other choice?
The serial killer stand.
I think basically the trend of where now everyone just wants to have sex with a serial killer, and it's become fully normalized.
Like that's been around for so long, but I feel like all of the recent Netflix originals that have come out have made it so much more acceptable to be that. It's not like, I am a quirky girl and I just like serial killers.
Yeah, we get it. Tumblr's been around for a while.
Yeah. Like now it's like, oh, I'm a Visco girl. Oh, and also serial killers hot.
Hot or not? Let's figure this out.
Is it less problematic if it's fictional serial killers?
Well,
I think so.
It is until the real serial killers get inspired by it, at least. So
the Kylo Ren killings.
Slenderman killings.
Fucking bad. I'm sorry.
Which one are we going with here, y'all?
Vote. Everyone, just vote. No more takes.
I'm gonna go with the Amazon.
We're shipping serial killers is like not new. Not a 2019 thing.
Serial killers.
We're perfectly evenly split because I'm also serial killers.
You gotta shake up the vote.
Top 5. So
what's that last vote?
Kelton, you're the deciding vote here.
Well,
the chairman has to take over.
And here's the thing: as is canon, the guests inherently have more weight.
True.
In general.
True. Yeah, I'm only half a vote actually. So.
Hey, what do you dipshits listening think?
Well, it doesn't matter because we are going to stick with Amazon Twitter drones. Why the fuck not?
Hell yeah! Next scene.
All right. We have the gender reveal accidents, bombs, the airplane crashes, cars bursting into flames, all of that.
A lot of fatalities this year.
Remarkably, just so many people died in the great gender reveal wars of 2019 versus the discourse around films before they've come out, like The Joker or The Irishman.
Well, gender reveal stuff, that's funny. That's funny hearing someone died because of an overly elaborate gender reveal party.
Tiring. I'm going to go with gender reveal accidents.
I mean, the shit with the Joker was fucking hysterical. People were like anticipating, there might be a mass shooting at the Joker screening. Well, I don't know.
Both of these have been very good things on the internet. It's always good to make fun of your lessers. I will say that the gender reveal parties are worse just because they have some kind of impact in the real world. They're really dumb. Movie discourse is just dumb online.
Yeah.
No, I
like that metric.
So which one are we going with here, y'all? Sorry.
I'm going gender
reveal.
reveal.
Feels like gender reveal.
Gender
yeah.
reveal. We even have a T-shirt about it.
Yeah, that's right. Check out the Gender Reveal Pipe Bomb t-shirts available exclusively through Griff Shop. Great times. They do great work there. All right, next round. We have number 1 overall seed, which is celebs weaponizing their followers, such as Lana Del Rey weaponizing her followers against critics, or Lizzo weaponizing her followers versus that poor Postmates driver. Versus the horrifying Cats trailer.
Boy, Cats was pretty bad. Let me tell you.
I'm gonna say that the followers thing is like a very 2019 phenomenon, and that's gonna be remembered and have much more cultural impact than Cats ever will.
Said like a man who has not seen the godless abomination that is Cats.
You need to see it. You actually need to
see it while
it's a spiritual experience.
see it in the theaters, please.
It's way better if you're high or drunk.
I'm sticking with celebs weaponizing.
Okay.
It was just really fucking funny to me to see Lizzo dox her food delivery person. Because
yeah, what happened? Lizzo was like the star child for a little while, and then like she had this weird supervillain turn, and then everyone just started fat shaming her, and then like things have finally kind of settled out where it's just kind of like no one should like Lizzo, but her music is still pretty good. Is that where we left things with her?
I'm pretty sure it's a clusterfuck.
Anyway, yeah, celebrities. Let's move on.
Then in the next round, we have that fucking Sonic trailer with the goddamn human teeth.
Gotta go fast.
Versus the prosperity gospel hype beasts.
Oh, but the Sonic trailer was just incredible. Like,
God,
Jesus fuck.
Sonic was worse. I vote for Sonic.
I just like the sheer audacity of it because everybody in the production department knew this was going to be fucking awful, and it was just watching a slow train wreck because we knew it was going to be awful.
A slow train wreck with Sonic. The irony.
He's not going fast. He's going painfully slow. And you can see every follicle in his hedgehog fur and his gross fucking human eyeballs and his fucking teeth. I like the memes. The memes are really good. So I'm going to vote for Sonic movie trailer.
All right. That's one for Sonic.
Tentatively Sonic.
All right. Tentatively Sonic.
Sonic. It's all Sonic. Sonic the episode.
As a gamer, I also must go with Sonic.
Also, they played fucking Gangster's Paradise in the first trailer, which I don't know if that song really fits Sonic, so that's all.
We're into the semifinal.
Oh, God.
We have celebs weaponizing their followers versus Amazon Twitter drones. So an interesting matchup. Lots of parallels between these two.
Twitter. Gonna go with Twitter. The Amazon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with celebrity Twitter being worse, yeah.
So we have one for celebrity Twitter and one for Amazon Twitter?
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm on Amazon Twitter.
I'm actually at a toss up. I actually don't know which one's worse.
Well, it all comes down to you, buddy. I wish I could help you.
You're the tiebreaker.
I got so much pressure. Celebrities.
Man, it's always interesting to like figure out exactly what a guest sounds like when they come. So I appreciate that.
Not really.
Now, in the other semifinal rounds, we have the 2 seed, the godless abomination that was the Sonic trailer, versus the number 4 seed, the gender reveal accidents, and the mayhem that ensued from that.
Well, Sonic movie trailer was a gender reveal accident. If you think about it hard enough.
That's actually what the blue streaks were. They're like, oh, it's a boy.
No, and Sonic getting a redesign was basically the surgery.
Oh my.
Reassignment surgery.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Congratulations on second puberty, Sonic.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's probably really transphobic. I'm fucking sorry, y'all. I'm not cis. Don't kill me, please.
Sonic is worse. They're both pretty bad though.
I'm sorry. What was the other option?
I'm voting Sonic.
Sonic versus gender reveal accidents.
I mean, I'm still on gender reveal, but I don't think my vote counts as much. So
I like the storytelling aspect of gender reveal party disasters.
All right, Leia.
Gender reveal.
All right, and then upset. So now we have the 1 seed, celebrities weaponizing their followers, versus the gender reveal accidents as the worst thing of 2019. We have to decide this once and for all.
I got to think of a really specific celebrity event that just made me want to kill myself.
What about Frankie Muniz asking to be walked like a dog by Lizzo?
Can you please be my black? Can you please be my ebony?
Nobody consented to that. Not a single one of us consented
exactly.
to that.
Looking at it, I didn't consent to reading it.
Who could possibly forget that classic song by Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney? Ebony, please walk all over me.
Yikes, that's also probably.
Oh, I think it was a very tough out with beating out Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
Just an incredible struggle there. So I think I'm going to lean towards gender reveal parties being the worst thing of the year.
All right, that is 1 for gender reveal. Zach, why don't you speak your mind since your voice doesn't matter?
It's really not fair since this entire bit about the gender reveal party is just a long form advertisement and us grifting. So I also am on the side of the gender reveal.
All right, so that's 2 for gender reveal. Moment's coming down. What's going to happen? Bum, bum, bum.
If y'all are having trouble decide, just think: did any of these Twitter fiascos? Did they kill someone? Someone died.
Lives were ended, celebrating the fact that lives were made.
I was going to say Jose Envoy, but that was
I'm voting gender reveal.
All right. Well, I guess that means that then gender reveal accidents are the worst thing to happen on the internet in 2019. So congratulations, everyone. Can't wait for the inevitable Lizzo gender reveal party that will just also be the genocidal extermination of the Kurdish people, I think, is what we can expect.
Wait, was that an option? I don't even remember you mentioning shit about the U.S. leaving Kurdistan.
2020 is going to be wild. It's going to go in some places you have not yet anticipated, directly.
Yeah. Well, this has been an absolutely fantastic episode. Thank y'all so much for being on. I know we appreciate it. I know Bo is going to be incredibly jealous that we were able to have y'all on with us and talking about it. Before I forget, real quick, shout out to all of our patrons, especially Scott for contributing to our dialectical tier, Natalie for contributing to the 2008 living wage tier. Y'all are amazing. Y'all make it happen. And we've actually shipped out the stickers, so let's get that confirmation about it.
Oh yeah,
on to our wonderful guests. What do y'all have to plug? Where can people find you? What have you got going on?
These are my co-hosts. They're wonderful as always. I'm Brandon Buchanan at Brandon Buchanan on Twitter, or you can check out the podcast at NSF Wonks. And just hang out with us. We have fun all throughout the day. It's a very hectic, very chaotic, very fun time. Dre and Leia, they're around too. Don't worry about them.
Yo.
This is my burden. This is my gift. This is my curse.
Fucking children you have to carry around every day.
Yeah, well.
I mean, again, it was really cool. Do we got anything going on in our world, Zach? What's happening?
Let's see. We have our regular episodes that come out. We have some bonus episodes I'm going to be editing.
Yeah, get that shit, man. We also have stuff happening on Discord. Y'all can find us on there. We're doing Discord Destiny Tuesdays, which is always fun. Regular Twitch stream is happening on Fridays at 8 p.m. And our original Twitter account did get taken down, so we have replaced it with a secondary Twitter account. But we have also created a subreddit, r/Psychic Dolphin Garage, that already has over 450 of you fuckers on there. So thank you so much for supporting that. And if you aren't already a part of it, come join the fun. That's Always a great time. Do we have any closing thoughts?
You guys were a very wonderful Twitter account, so I'm sure you guys will be a very wonderful Reddit. And your sports account is still up, right?
Yeah, that's right. All day, every day.
They haven't gotten us there yet.
That's where the money comes from, man. Just get those StubHub ads up and running, and it'll keep the rest of the pod afloat.
That's all we can hope for.
Yeah.
Hope against hope for that possibility.
We also Grift Shop did drop, as of our Friday stream, a new piece of merch, our Slick Willie shirts.
Oh, hell yeah. Bill Clinton on a pot leaf. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, so that's a really cool design that he put up. And
you don't need to inhale to enjoy it.
I'm going to definitely order myself one, and I'm probably going to send one to someone else. I'm not sure who
A special someone?
A special someone. It's Rob from Dumb and Awful.
All right, y'all. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. Check out our link tree in the show notes so you can join our Discord, watch us on Twitch, and find our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. Word of mouth is still the best way for us to bring this weird leftist show to as many people as we possibly can, so if you like the episode, please share it with someone. Anyone. Just one other person at your school or office or parole hearing who you think might like what we do. We trust your judgment. Go ahead and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dolphin Garage. Our music is provided by Amoeba Crew. Find them on Twitter at Amoeba Crew. You can find the link to their YouTube page in our episode description.